If you're a regular viewer here on Test Drive, you'll know that we're very thorough when it comes to our reviews. But if you're a new-time viewer, we invite you to subscribe to our channel as we continue our trek towards 100,000 subscribers. But this 2024 GMC Sierra HD Denali Ultimate and I have been on quite the adventure. With 1,500 kilometers under our belts with this, I know a thing or two about this truck. I'm going to tell you why you might be interested in spending $127,000 Canadian on a truck as well equipped as this, and some of the things that I've experienced with it over the last 5 days. You know, I'm 6 foot tall. It's very rare to find a vehicle that is actually taller than I am. But let me tell you a little bit about this HD Denali Ultimate. James just featured the AT4X AEV, so if you want to know absolutely everything there is to know about this facelifted GMC Sierra HD truck, check out his video. It'll be linked in the top right corner. This vehicle has a little bit more of a bad boy look to it. I like it. We've got the Vader chrome instead of the flashy chrome that comes on other Denalis, and you'll know that this is the Denali Ultimate aside from the fact that it says it on the side of the truck, but the interior is adorned with Denali references. The actual topographical map is on the wood trim for the dashboard, and you've got the actual GPS coordinates pretty much all over the place. The door sills, the center console, and the dashboard. You'll never forget where the Denali mountain range is. Now, because I've driven this so much, I've gotten very comfortable with it. We're going to take this truck on the road. I'll tell you a little bit about how it's been on the drive and everything, but let's be honest, folks, if you're in the market for a $127,000 truck, this is the one to go for, because there's nothing better than a Denali. As is the case every time I go to Quebec now, it has to give me a little treat, a little present for visiting. The elephant in the room is the 2-inch crack that is on the windshield of this truck. Pretty much within minutes of entering into the Quebec border, I got a nice stone chip to this windshield, cracked it, and then over the course of the week it has just gotten bigger. So please just ignore that. Obviously this truck was pretty much mint when I picked it up, and then I felt extremely bad having that because these are not cheap windshields. The amount of technology here, we've got, you know, the digital rear view camera, we've got the head-up display that needs to be calibrated, we've got sensors in the center here, all that stuff. It's going to have to be adjusted and in some cases replaced in order for the windshield to be put on, so that's a bit of a bummer. I don't like breaking brass cars, but anyway, just ignore it. Pretend it's not there. I've tried to do the best I can this week to ignore it too, but I want to talk a little bit about this Sierra HD Denali Ultimate. Now let's talk about this trim. This is the one to go with. You know, James had fun with the AT4X. That's more for off-roading, but the Denali Ultimate really is the ultimate expression of the GMC Sierra and the GMC brand as a whole. You know, for years now and decades, the Denali has really been the pinnacle pickup truck. And adding the Ultimate trim has elevated it just a little bit more, you know, making sure that you pretty much have everything that this vehicle can come with. So, like I said, tech-wise, it's fully loaded. 360 cameras. We have a camera on the back of the cab to look at the bed. We've got a camera, same position, just to the left or the right of it to show the digital rear view camera. And then what I like about the 360 cameras is the cameras themselves are fixed on the mirror mounting points to the doors. So when you fold the mirrors, you're not losing out on the cameras. Sometimes, in most cases, when you fold the mirrors, because they're on the actual mirrors themselves, they'll stop working or they'll give you a weird angle. So good stuff from that. Multi-Pro tailgate came in handy for me this week. While I didn't film anything for it because I was too tired, I did use this truck for truck stuff. We removed the fence and had a new one installed about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, and I had to get rid of all the debris. So, I mean, tons of stuff. I think they said it was about 250 kilograms of debris I threw out at the dump. I did that all myself, threw it in the back of the truck. So great to have, you know, this large bed. Obviously, this is not the full-size bed that you could get on this truck or the 3500, right? This is the standard size bed for the HD truck, but fit everything in it. And then we've got that tri-fold or quad-fold, really, tonneau cover, hard tonneau cover on the back of here. That's really the key accessory. If you're going to buy a truck, you got to have one, because then I just folded it in. I was able to fit everything into the bed, all my garbage, closed it up. That way I don't have to tie anything down. It's all secured. Nothing's flying out as I'm driving along. That's what you need. Tonneau covers are important. So I'm glad that this one had that because I put it to good use, just like I have the rest of the truck. You know, I think the only thing I'm kind of disappointed with, and, you know, unless we tested the other two trucks on this test loop, it's hard to say for sure, but, you know, I completed our 100 kilometer test loop with this in 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers. The US MPG is below in the lower third. That's only 0.1 or 0.10 of a liter per 100 kilometers worse than my actual road trip. My road trip itself, total, was about 1,400 kilometers to Quebec and back. I did 13.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which, you know, still wasn't great. I was hoping for better, considering the trucks, it's unladen, right? I'm not towing anything. I don't have anything massive that I'm hauling except for myself and, you know, luggage and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't a lot. So I was really hoping for a better number than that, but it is what it is. I mean, this is a big truck. It's a big engine. It's a heavy truck. It's capable, right? But at least it was comfortable, and that was the thing. You know, despite literally spending almost $400 now in gas or diesel up until this point, it has been extremely comfortable. The drive to Quebec, almost couldn't have asked for anything better. Yes, the suspension is a little rough. You know, you do feel a lot of the bumps, and Quebec's roads are pretty bad, so you feel it a little bit more. But I didn't have to worry about it, right? You know, see big potholes, who cares? Go right through it. So it was really comfortable. I never had any problems, you know, with my legs falling asleep or any discomfort here. You know, sometimes on these longer trips, I start to feel fatigue in my body because I'm sitting for so long. This was good. So I'm very happy with that. The overall interior space here is exactly what you would expect from a truck, right? You know, I folded up the seats in the back, so I had more place to put my bags and my tripods and stuff like that. If I needed the bed, could have used it, no problem. So for me, like, it was the ultimate truck to take on this road trip, to do what I needed to do for Ajax Eco Run, which was film a whole bunch of content. You know, I could have loaded this truck up with gear and it would have been perfect. Plus, you've got tons of accessory ports, USB ports and everything on here. You know, you'd be able to charge up all your stuff. So this really was the ultimate truck to be able to take, and, you know, really is the ultimate in a lot of ways, right? Yeah, that's why they call it the Denali Ultimate now. So yeah, I mean, it's capable, it's comfortable, it's big, it looks good. I think this is the best looking HD truck on the market. I love the grille. I love just the whole front end of this vehicle. Everything looks really sharp on this truck. And I think it was a smart decision to get rid of that bright chrome. Not everybody likes it. So with this darker paint color, it looks really good. So excellent color combination. Plus, thank you, GM. We've got brown leather in here. If it was all black, I think I would have been a little disappointed, but no, I like the interior leather as well. The only other downside that I had, the negative, was with the infotainment system. I paired it with my phone right away. It took a while for it to actually connect and be able to use Apple CarPlay. And then within half an hour, my Apple CarPlay, I don't have a video of it because I was driving, but the Apple CarPlay display was about 1.5 inches to the, you know, northwest of the screen. But when you tapped on the screen, it was still, you know, still thought it was in the original position. So I couldn't cancel my maps anymore because they were stuck, and I couldn't disable Apple CarPlay either because, again, it was stuck. So there was problems with that. And then even when I was coming home, I had stopped just after I got out of Quebec to fill up diesel on this truck, and I was using the built-in navigation, because if you've got OnStar and everything, you're getting the full experience. So I'm using OnStar, and it couldn't find the GPS for about 45 minutes. I'm driving for 45 minutes. The infotainment is completely locked up, has no idea where I am. It thinks I'm back at the station filling up still. And then finally, after, like, honest to God, 45 minutes, it finally figured itself out, and it figured out that I was, you know, 100 kilometers ahead of there. So some hiccups with this. You know, I was expecting a little bit more. We've tested some of these GM infotainment systems. They usually work pretty well, so I'm not quite sure what the issue was here, but kind of reminds me of the problems that I had with the Chevrolet Trax a few months ago as well. So yeah, little hiccups there. And again, in order to get the full experience, you need to have an OnStar subscription with data. So it's going to cost you some money in order to have everything work. And if it works, it works. But when it doesn't work, it really does screw stuff up. But digital gauge cluster looks good. Head-up display, rear view camera, mirror, all of that stuff. Excellent stuff there. You know, heated, ventilated seats. I've got pretty much all the features that I want. There really isn't anything missing. You know, none of the other trucks have anything else that this doesn't have. This has got the storage. This has got the looks. If you're looking for an HD truck, I mean, this is the way to go. Plus, you've got that legendary Duramax under the hood. I mean, it hauls ass. I mean, look, like, okay, a little bit of lag there to figure out the gear, but oh, buddy. Yeah, it picks up pretty quick. So it's been nice. The turbo diesel sound has been a very lovely companion for my over 1,500 kilometers now that I've been driven this bad boy. And it's not done yet, right? Because I still have to drop this off. But I've enjoyed it quite a bit. So was it my favorite choice to go on a road trip? Meh. If gas, diesel, and stuff like that were cheaper, yeah, absolutely. But it worked out well. So I'm glad that I took it. I'm glad that I drove it. And now you know how the Denali Ultimate feels and compares to something like the AT4X that we drove not too long ago. Now, as always, here on Test Drive, we get back to people in the comments. So if you have questions or anything you wanted to say about the show or the truck or anything, you can let us know in the comments below. We, as I mentioned at the beginning, invite you to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, as we're growing to 100,000 subscribers, and also share the video online as it helps us get our content out to new people who are interested in stuff like this. But as always, we appreciate you watching. Until next time, take care.